It's the Burns Gambo show, and we are hanging out here at Cardinals headquarters. OTAs are underway, and it's always good to see a familiar face popping into the studios here. We've had him on so many times. It's like we're friends. Trey McBride, tight end of the Arizona Cardinals, hanging out with us here on Burns Gambo. Good to see you again, man. How are things going?
Yeah, everything's great, man. Thanks for coming in here and having me on. This is it's always fun chatting with you guys. So.
Yeah, you're definitely one of our favorites. Just the excitement of getting the contract. Me and you talked a little bit. The excitement of getting it done, having it over with. How has it affected you? How's it changed your life?
Really, just obviously it gives me some security, but honestly, I feel like the same person. I just kind of will have to prove myself again. I feel like everything I did last year doesn't really matter, and I gotta kind of prove myself again and do it all over again. But obviously, very exciting. But I feel like there's still a lot to prove.
When you got into the league and you looked around, you looked at other tight ends. Did you try to be like anybody else? Did you envision yourself playing like anybody else, or were you just going to be who you were?
Yeah, I just wanted to be the best, Trey McBride that I could be, the best player, and really just focus on anything that I can do to elevate my game. Obviously, watch a ton of tight ends and admire a lot of people's games, but really just wanted to be the best version of myself because I play, a little different than most.
Who stood out? Who stood out when you were in college and you were looking at tight ends? Did anybody stand out to you? That was
Yeah,
in
I
the
love
NFL?
Mark Andrews. Love George Kittle. Love watching those guys play. Obviously, Travis Kelce's been playing for a long time, guys like that. But Mark Andrews and Kittle are two guys I really do love watching.
I know the answer to this. I'm going to ask it anyway. You were the highest paid tight end for what? About 5 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Like it didn't. I mean, is there any part of that matters to you that you had that title? You don't have that title anymore. Do you care?
I think it was great, that I had the title at one point, and that was obviously a huge milestone for me and everything, just to, be the highest paid at my position at the time. And I thought that was really cool. Obviously, George is much deserving of that, and I'm very excited for him. Obviously, I would love for someone to jump him and everyone just keep jumping each other, and the tight ends make a ton of money.
Sure.
So that's what I'm pulling for. But obviously, very excited for George.
What was the without getting too personal? What was the first thing you did with the money? Like, did you treat yourself? Did you get something? Did you give it to what did you do with
a set of golf clubs?
Yeah, that's funny. No, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what have you bought? What have you bought? And I really haven't done a whole lot. Like I said, I joined a country club. I felt like that was a big, step for me, and I bought me a nice watch. So I got a nice little Rolex watch.
Okay.
Those are the two things I've done so far, but really just trying to, put it in the pocket and preserve for sure.
Fair.
When did you and Kyler Murray have an incredible connection?
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the best in the whole league, quarterback to tight end. When did you feel it clicked? When did you feel like we're on the same page?
I felt like that first game he came back when we played Atlanta.
Okay.
My second season, his first game back, and I think I had 8 or 9 catches for 100 and something yards, and I felt like that's where it really, really started for me, the confidence in him to me and just kind of us building that relationship that we have. But that was a really good game. It was a lot of confidence for him, his first game back. Obviously, I caught a lot of balls, and I think that's where that connection really started.
What was it like before that? Was it just trying to get him to trust you and you to trust him? What was it like leading up to that Atlanta game?
That's when, I had to earn his trust. Obviously, took a lot of reps with the backups and stuff. Zach was here at the time, so I was getting a lot of reps with Colt. So really, I felt like me and Colt were on the same page, and I wasn't getting those reps with Kyler that I wanted. So I felt like every time I had a rep with Kyler, I wanted to prove that I can be the guy. I can, do what he wants and get open for him, and just really slowly built that trust and relationship, and him knowing what I was going to do, me knowing what he was going to do, and just kind of being on the same page. And that first time it really connected was that Atlanta game.
Trey McBride is our guest here on the Burns Gambo show. We've talked a lot about first-year guys making the transition into the second year.
Yep.
For your perspective, how different was it coming out of year one and going into year two in terms of how much more you knew?
Yeah, the game slows down tremendously. I think that's the biggest part about it is understanding the game, how fast it goes, and really knowing what your role is and how to get open, how to do whatever you need to do. And that jump is real. The game slows down for you. You understand, what you need to do, how to, be a pro and what to expect going into every game. And now it's not a secret of what everybody's going to do. It's, exactly what teams are going to do. You've had a year under your belt. So that year one to year two is a big jump. And I'm excited to see our guys, make that.
Do coaching changes affect the year one, year two jump? I mean, you don't have to deal with that now with the guys here who are making the year 1 to year 2. But for you, how does that coaching change potentially mess with the year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a huge thing. You want to have some consistency in the coaches and know exactly what you're doing, what offense you're running, things like that. So for me, that was hard, going from a totally complete offense to a whole new staff where everybody got fired. You got a new offense, new everything, and trying to learn everything again. So really, that's why it just took a little bit longer than most to kind of get that jump. But I think when guys understand what their role is, how to play in this league, and get open, the sky's the limit.
How have defenses changed from before that Atlanta game to how you're covered now?
Yeah, I just think there's no secret that I'm, going to be featured. I'm going to get the ball. So teams are playing me a little bit different than most. Maybe you're getting chipped at the line, or you're getting, safety down on top of you. Linebackers aren't covering you anymore. Things like that. So the personnel's definitely changed, but most importantly, I think just the attention that you get from defenses has definitely changed.
Except inside the 5-yard line, right? They know they're not going to throw you the ball when you're in the end zone.
Yeah. They just leave me wide open and let it roll. No, that'll get changed this year for sure.
You're still gonna do some of those hurdles?
I told myself last year I was done, and then I did one or two more, but. I'm really trying to, stop doing that. I think the risk versus reward is not really there, but
it's instinct.
Yeah, if someone dives at my legs, I'm probably going to jump, so we'll see. I tell myself I'm not going to do it, but on Sunday we'll see what happens.
What's your other option when somebody goes low like that?
I guess, move, get out of the way.
Be a little more fleet of foot. All right.
So when you got the
sidestep,
when you got the contract, you joked almost like there was a no hurtling clause. So there's not a specific no, you will not hurdle clause in the contract.
It was in the fine print at the very bottom. No, it was no. Monty was he's just joking around. He's like, hey man, we need you to play these games. We can't have you hurt, so let's keep you on the ground, and we don't need you flying around. So
what are you not allowed to do in your contract?
It's probably extreme sports, different things like that.
Can you water ski?
I probably not. I don't really know.
Can you ski, like snow ski?
No snow ski.
Can't snow ski.
Yeah, which is a bummer. Being from Colorado, that was a lot of fun, but. I can wait. That'll be snow skiing will still be there in 10 years.
No motorcycles.
Yeah, none of that. So just trying to be safe and.
Is there anything that you did a lot of that you can't do now because it's in the contract?
No, I mean I've been pretty smart with everything, but just trying to make sure I'm staying healthy and can play in the season most importantly.
I was on a website the other day, and I swear I was this close to ordering a Trey McBride Angry Runs T-shirt. Do you have the scepter? What did you do with it, and how was that experience for you?
Yeah, how cool is that, the Angry Runs thing? But yeah, I do have the scepter. It's hung up in my house. It's just sitting there, so I can pull it out of the case, and it's like it's a whole thing. But it's fun. Everyone comes over to my house. They're like, "Why do you have like a staff in your?" And I'm like, "No, that's a set." That is an
NFL Network. Good Morning Football. So Angry Runs Scepter.
Yeah,
man.
No, it's always fun when people are like, "What is that?" They think I'm like some kind of like. Lord of the Rings character, things like that.
Who was the guy they drafted that we had on that was into all that?
The guy that
Vanos. I'm not. You're the.
Oh no! It was Dalvin Tomlinson, who was into the Marvel stuff.
The Marvel.
Yeah. He's into the Marvel stuff. Yeah. This was the Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football. Gets you like he's frothing at the mouth about you. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and buy that T-shirt. It was pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool
good.
Shirt.
That's a cool little award, and I'm glad I got it. I was nominated a few times and came up short, so I finally got it the last week. So
what do you guys got to do to get over the hump this year and get in the playoffs?
I think, most importantly, just consistency. Obviously, keeping our guys healthy. I think our team is, very strong. We have everything we need to do to be successful, and I think we just stay on the right track, stay healthy, and our team can be really, really good.
Trey, we appreciate the time as always, man. Good to catch up with you.
Thank you
Good
guys
to see
so
you.
much.
Got
man.
it. Good seeing you, man. Yeah. As a reminder, a limited number of season and individual tickets are currently on sale for Cardinals home games. So for more information, please visit azcardinals.com/tickets.
Thanks for watching Burns Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.